tuning in. I'm Stephanie Alba.
And I'm Justine Polanic. Today we will be talking about Bell Let's Talk Day, an update on President Trump, and some weird news that starts with the letter R. But first, Bell Let's Talk is taking over all the social media sites today. In an effort to spread awareness about mental health, people are using their accounts to get the word out and try to end the stigma. Big names such as Clara Hughes and Howie Mandel took the Bell Let's Talk Day under their wings and promoted all the hashtags throughout their social media accounts, and they created millions of interactions. Mental health is a growing concern among students, so the Friendship Bench, which is painted bright yellow, brings attention to the simple act of saying hello. Quinn Vertoli was at the unveiling of the bench here at Trafalgar campus.
The Yellow is for Hello campaign launched this past Monday to help spread awareness for mental health on campus. Sam Fiorella, the man who founded the program after his son committed suicide, stopped by the college to launch the event.
The purpose of the bench is to be a permanent visual reminder every day for students to take a minute out of their day, sit, relax, eat your lunch, listen to some music, but most importantly to just take that break from the stress of school, stress of exams, stress of work, peer pressure, and relax. Say hi to a friend, think about your mental health, check in with friends to make sure they're okay.
The Yellow Bench has only one arm on the side to allow for accessibility for people in wheelchairs. The bench is located in the B wing next to Tim Hortons and will stay as a permanent part of Sheridan.
I live in this community. I'm literally just a few minutes away. My son grew up here, my daughter still lives here with me, and so being here at Sheridan College, Trafalgar campus in particular, is very meaningful to me.
The Sheridan Student Union kickstarted this initiative on campus, and the vice president is very happy to have this bench be a part of the campus community.
I mean, obviously at the Student Union, what we care about is making sure that the students' experience is good, that they are getting what they're needing, and that their experience here is what it needs to be.
Reporting for SUP Sheridan, this is Quinn Bertoli.
Sam Fiorella joins me on SUP Sheridan to talk about the Friendship Bench. Hi Sam, thanks so much for being here. So why is it so important to talk about mental health in the schools?
Well, we've discovered that 50% of the people in Canada that suffer with depression don't talk about it. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of reasons for that. You know, the stigma, students don't really want to feel ostracized, they don't want to feel different or weak or made to feel weird. And so talking about it makes it okay for those people who are too afraid to talk about it, to do so, and then that leads to a greater likelihood that they will get the help that they need.
Mm-hmm. So how does the Friendship Bench keep Lucas's memory alive?
Well, the Friendship Bench was created not to honor Lucas's death, but to honor his life. Mm-hmm. Lucas, while he was alive, we discovered, unfortunately after his death, reached out to a lot of his peers that were suffering. In some cases, he reached out to people that were considering taking their life, mm-hmm. or were considering dropping out of school because of their depression and their inability to connect with other people. Mm-hmm. And we heard all of these stories about what he did. And every one of those stories started with the same statement. Lucas just came up to me out of the blue and said hello. And so we thought, what a shame that he's not here to do that anymore. Mm-hmm. And so this program is designed to encourage students to say hello to each other.
Okay. So since the installation of the Friendship Bench, what's the response you've been receiving so far?
It's been amazing. We are almost coast to coast now. As of
wow.
This coming year, we'll be literally coast to coast.
Mm-hmm.
We have students that are demanding having the bench and the Yellow is for Hello program in schools. Mm-hmm. So we're getting calls from mental health counselors at the various school boards, at secondary and post-secondary schools, that's saying, you know what, we don't know what the Friendship Bench is, but we have students asking us for it. Mm-hmm. So we're thrilled about that. And we're also thrilled at the fact that on average, we're seeing somewhere between 18 and 20% increase in the number of students asking for help after we've placed a bench in a school.
Wow. Well, often when people mention that they have depression or anxiety, there is some stigma and negative stereotypes that comes along with it. What would you say how we can move forward from reducing these stigmas and negative stereotypes?
Yeah, there's no question. It's cultural in a lot of cases, and the only way I feel to beat it is to make it okay to talk about it, is to not hide it. I was very open when my son died by suicide, to get it out there and let my family know, let our friends know. And so by talking about it, we can reduce that stigma.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here. I don't doubt that this place is going to be an amazing show.
Thank you.
So coming up after the break, Cassandra will give us an update on what's going on in the news today. Stick around.
Welcome back to SUP Sheridan. We now turn to Cassandra Fernandez for the news.
What's going on, Cassandra?
The trial of Aiden Coben, charged with the well-known Amanda Todd case, begins in the Netherlands today. Coben faces multiple counts of child pornography and extortion in connection with 34 young girls and 5 gay men. Amanda Todd's video recounting about the alleged online abuse she suffered went viral. The 15-year-old BC teen committed suicide a few weeks later. An Oakville doctor is facing a third charge of sexual assault. Family physician Dr. Clarence Claudy is accused of assaulting a former patient. Since August, Claudy has had restrictions on his practice. He cannot work with female patients without the supervision of a female health practitioner. Police say the investigation is ongoing and urge anyone else with information to come forward. Fabio Cementelli is a Canadian-born and internationally known hairdresser, was found beaten and stabbed to death at his LA home. Paramedics found the 49-year-old on the patio of his gated house. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Police have not named a possible motive for the attack. His Porsche was also missing from the home. Greenpeace protesters climbed a 270-foot construction crane just blocks away from the White House, protesting Donald Trump's presidency. Greenpeace said in a statement that the protesters are calling for those who want to resist Trump's attacks on environmental, social, economic, and educational justice to contribute to a better America. President Trump signed 2 executive orders today that keep with his campaign promises to boost border security and crack down on illegal immigration. The orders jumpstart production of a U.S.-Mexico border wall and strip funding of sanctuary cities which don't arrest or detain illegal immigrants. The wall was an infamous signature promise of the Trump presidential campaign. The head of an ancient Catholic order has resigned over a dispute with the Vatican over the distribution of free condoms. The Pope asked the head Grand Master of Knights of Malta, Matthew Festing, to resign. The pontiff will name a temporary replacement. British Prime Minister Theresa May says that the government will set out its Brexit plans in a formal policy document. Prior to the announcement, opposition parties and several Conservative MPs called for a white paper. a government policy document which lays out proposals for future acts on Parliament on Brexit. A day prior, the Supreme Court ruled that only Parliament, not ministers, can invoke Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty, which would trigger the 2-year process of leaving the European Union. In the UK, a Royal Navy warship escorted a Russian aircraft carrier as it passed through the English Channel. Admiral Kuznetsov passed through the UK waters as the ship made its way back home from an operation in Syria. The ship actively was monitored by British ship HMS St. Albans. British Defence Secretary Michael Fallon called the carrier a ship of shame whose mission was only extended the suffering of the Syrian people. For the first time since it was founded 131 years ago, the Dow Jones Industrial Average traded above 20,000 points. Earlier this morning, the Dow was up 97.59 points, an increase of 0.49%, giving the Dow Jones a total of 20,010.3 points. That's all the news I have for you today. We now head back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Cassandra. What's your strongest weapon? Justine sat down with a Sheridan student who produced a documentary on self-defense classes for Muslim women.
I think that the Sisters program is really good because we provide a female-only environment for a lot of women that aren't comfortable training with men. And I've had bad experiences as well training with men. And it's hard, and it sort of pushes me more to help women that have been going through that. A lot of women who haven't had the self-confidence or have had the self-confidence like wiped out of them by abusive relationships that they've been in.
So tell us about your documentary.
So our documentary called Your Strongest Weapon is about a woman named Raihana Dawood. She is a martial artist. She's based in Scarborough. She started teaching martial arts at a Muslim martial arts club. She is a Muslim woman. And then she started her own charity called Martial Smarts, where she goes actually mainly around the GTA, but she's gone around the world teaching self-defense classes to women for free. So she's been all around Toronto. She goes to different universities, but she's also been in Tanzania and India and just a bunch of different places.
What was it like filming a documentary for the first time?
It was definitely exciting. I don't think any of us on the team had made a documentary before, but I think I was always interested in making one, and it was definitely like a lot of organization. It's like a lot of group work, but it was really, really interesting. It was a really cool learning experience, and I was really, Raihana is so interesting, and I learned a lot about martial arts and her culture, so it was a really great learning experience.
So what was it like meeting such an inspiring person like Raihana?
She definitely made me feel like I need to do more for my gender, for Muslim women, and just it was very interesting. She does so much for the community and for women. She's a medical doctor as well, so she's busy, and she's young. She's like under 30 for sure. So she's super impressive. She does so much work.
We now head to downtown Oakville, where Jessie Cabral is going to tell us about the taste of Oakville. Jessie?
Hi there, I'm Jesse Cabral, and I'm here with Sheridan College for the Taste of Oakville event at Aroma Espresso Bar. And here with me I have Katie. Katie, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for inviting us.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about what the Taste of Oakville event is?
Well, basically the Taste of Oakville event is a bunch of the restaurants in downtown Oakville are getting together and offering affordable ways for you to try our menus. So we have there's $15, $20, and $25 options depending on what restaurant you go to. Aroma itself has a $15 lunch and a $20 dinner for this particular event. So our lunch is a Moroccan spiced chicken bowl, which is lentils and a shawarma-style chicken with a cucumber tomato salad, and it comes with a dessert and a medium coffee, and it's just $15. And then our dinner is a half sandwich paired with a super salad, and you can get that also with a dessert and a medium drink for just $20.
All right, and what are you hoping to get out of this event? Are you hoping for increased business or something like that?
We're definitely hoping for increased business, absolutely, but we're also hoping to just kind of show people what we have to offer. We really want to get new people to come in and see what our meals are. Our Moroccan chicken especially was a holiday special that we've decided to hold on the menu and continue. So we definitely want people to be aware of what that one is and how it tastes, and hopefully come back.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Katie. So, as you can see, guys, Taste of Oakville is going on very great. Definitely recommend coming to Aroma Espresso Bar. For Sup Sheridan, I'm Jesse Cabral, and we'll be back right after this.
Thanks, Jesse. Time for a break.
Your entertainment and sports info are coming up on the other side. Stay tuned.
Sup, Sheridan.
I'm Matt Coffin.
And I'm Chelsea Osu.
And we are two of the few hosts on Sup Sheridan.
Besides hosting, every other week we rotate positions.
As I am a show producer every other week.
And I'm graphics.
And together with the rest of our crew, we put on Sup Sheridan every week at 3 p.m.
So during the live show, things can get pretty hectic around here.
Yeah, we're pretty much running around all day, trying to finish our packages, make sure that we have enough stuff for the show.
We go around asking people what stories they're doing to get an idea of what we're going to talk about during the show, running back and forth with the producer. It's a lot of running around.
It can get pretty hectic because you have pretty much a few hours until that 3 o'clock time slot hits, and you got to be ready to go live. So definitely a lot of preparation goes into Sup Sheridan, and it's a lot of fun. It can be very stressful at times, but it's a lot of fun.
So one weird fact about me is that I always have to listen to music when I'm driving. No matter what, it can't be 680 news, like it has to be music. And it has to be a song that I like, you know?
And I guess, yeah, weird fact about me is I probably use Netflix Kids account more than my own, just because shows are good. They're good.
Welcome back to Sup Sheridan.
We now head over to Irina Emanova for your entertainment news for the day. What's up, Irina?
Hey guys, sad news today from Hollywood. Mary Taylor Moore has passed away at the age of 80. She was famous for her 1970s sitcom of the same name and her many years on the Dick Van Dyke Show as the comedian's wife. Have you ever wanted to try yoga? How about glow-in-the-dark yoga? I stopped by the Marquee to see what it was all about.
SSU held an hour-long yoga session providing students with glow paint, black lights, glow sticks, and absolute peace. During the session, students had an opportunity to take a break from studies, relax, and release their stress.
Tonight was all about teaching students about how to de-stress in a very short period of time, how to use yoga to become more mindful, and how to look after their body.
According to many students, applying glow paint on their bodies was the most exciting part.
So when we originally got here, we weren't really too excited. We were more excited for the paint than the yoga. But I think as the whole thing went on, we realized it was like a judgment-free zone. We were laughing, we were relaxing. I know midterms are coming up, so a lot of us are getting a little stressed for that.
Just get centered, rejuvenated, and feel good.
I was lucky enough to be able to provide students with a free t-shirt tonight. There was water bottles available, glow sticks, and glow paint so that they were able to glow in the black light, and it just kind of let people come and have a stress-free night. I think it's really important to not just have events that are like pub night, or not that those are bad, those are great events, but it's really important for students to have events at this age, especially when we're coming into ourselves, that allow us to kind of see within and outside of ourselves and just to really love and appreciate who we are and the people around us.
It's award season, and the Canadian Screen Awards were just announced. Sheridan has a record number of alumni who were nominated. Media Arts grad Matt Dorman is nominated for a feature he co-produced for TSN. Here is Matt to explain the award.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. And yeah, the nomination was for Best Sports Feature. The feature we did was called El Presidente. And it was basically it was 25 years since Dennis Martinez's perfect game he pitched for the Montreal Expos. So what we did is we went down to Nicaragua. We documented what it meant for Nicaraguans to see one of their own win or pitch a perfect game.
We also know that this is your first time being nominated. How does it feel to be nominated for the first time?
You know, it's a cool experience because there's so many moving parts into making a feature, especially with working with freelancers, working with my other colleagues and getting the story right. So when you do get nominated and they recognize you for your work, it just feels so good because I started out at Sheridan, and to where I got today in TSN, it was a long road. So to get a CSA, it meant a lot.
That's amazing. We also know about your project for Bell Let's Talk, and we would like to hear more about that.
The feature that I did was about last March, Cross Lake, Manitoba issued a state of emergency because they had a youth suicide epidemic. So TSN, we went down to talk to David Maswagan, a local softball coach. And what he was doing through the boys and his team, the Michikamak Thunder, is he's delivering a message of hope through these kids to the younger generations. And you're seeing firsthand that their message and their achievements are translating to the young ones, and they believe that they have that they can see that they have a future ahead.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us today, and we hope you have a wonderful day.
Thanks again.
Bye-bye. Sheridan Animation alumni Ellen Barilero is nominated for an Oscar for his short film Piper. The film is about a sandpiper bird who leaves her nest for the first time to hunt for food, but is too scared of the crashing waves. After meeting an unusual ally, Piper ends up facing her fears. Barilero says he wanted to explore a parent's point of view of instilling self-confidence to their children. The 89th Academy Award nominees have been revealed. Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone's musical movie La La Land is set to make history. The romantic film earned 14 nominations, including Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Director. The nominations tie a record previously held by Titanic and All Above Eve. That's all for the entertainment news we have for you today. Let's now head over to Bella, who has updates on Leafs, Raptors, and the Sheridan Bruins.
Thanks, Serena. Before we get started, let's watch a package about how Leaf fans are happy with the way the season has gone so far. With the NHL season halfway done and the race for the playoffs in full swing, Leaf fans are feeling pretty good about the team's recent success. Having won 10 of their past 14 games, fans feel that the team finally has what it needs in order to be successful.
I think it's their young players, and it's got to be Babcock, the coach. He just knows how to gel it all together, and it really is the young players. We had a lot of mid to older players for too long, and we are truly in development, and you can see it now because the proof is in the scores.
I think it's because the opponents that they're playing are overlooking them because they're just, they're the Maple Leafs. They're kind of lowly, they're an underachieving team, and they kind of sneak away with the wins sometimes when teams don't give them as much respect as they deserve.
Well, they've got a great rebuilding program, great coach, great stability. They have what it takes to move forward. They've got good draft picks.
Fans are feeling optimistic about the Leafs' chances at making the postseason.
You know what? I actually do think they're going to make the playoffs this year. As long as they can stay healthy, they'll definitely make the playoffs this year, for sure.
The Leafs hope to continue their success tonight in Detroit against the Red Wings. The team will still be without defenseman Morgan Riley, who is set to miss his 4th straight game due to a lower body injury. The puck drops at 7 o'clock. The Toronto Raptors, who have lost 4 straight for the first time since March of 2015, were in action last night against the Spurs. Kyle Lowry scored 30 points for the Raptors, who were without their all-star guard DeMar DeRozan. Terrence Ross, who scored 18 of his 21 points in the second half, buries the second of back-to-back threes from the top of the key. Patty Mills hits the 3 from the top of the key for 3 of his 18 points in the second half. And Norman Powell takes it down the court as the clock is running out, but the shot is no good. The Raptors will return to action against Memphis, still without DeRozan, who is expected to miss 2 more games with a sprained ankle. In Sheridan news, the Sheridan Bruins men's basketball team hopes to continue their hot streak as they return to action tonight at Mohawk. The team has been riding a 9-game win streak that has them ranked 1st in the province overall. That's all for today's sports. Coming up after the break, we'll have a weather update. Stay tuned.
Sheridan. My name is Joel T. Renich, and I'm in the Bachelor of Film and Television program. Here's your weather for today. For January today, we're experiencing a lot warmer temperatures than we're used to, as we are currently sitting high at a degree of 5 degrees with a chance of rain. For the rest of the week, the temperature starts to fall as we go from a high of 4 tomorrow with a chance of rain to a high of 1 Friday with a chance of flurries. On Saturday, there's going to be scattered flurries throughout the day, and Sunday starts the drop of temperatures, as there will be a mix of sun and clouds and a low of -1. Lastly, on Monday is where we start feeling the cold weather, as we sit at a high of -3 with a mix of sun and clouds. That's all we have for your 5-day forecast. Back to you at the studio.
Now it's time for weird news that starts with the letter R. A man broke into a sex shop and stole a $56 blow-up sex doll in the middle of the night. The burglar found the one he wanted, broke open the case with a crowbar, and just left.
The Bronx Zoo is continuing their tradition of asking people to name a cockroach for Valentine's Day. People have the chance to name a Madagascar hissing cockroach in the honor of someone they love. The zoo first initiated this event in 2011 as a fun way to raise money. That's all the stories we have for you today. Thanks for everyone tuning in to our Sheridan newscast. We'll see you all next week.